Good. Well, we'll see.
High about 75. Well, tonight, clear skies, low 49. Sunny tomorrow, Sunday, high 75. Sunday night, a chance of showers. Thunderstorms also possible after 11 p.m. Partly cloudy, low 58.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Good to see you on this beautiful day.
48. PJ's Roofing. When it comes to your roof, they've got you covered. Visit pjsroofing.com. I'm Jim Thomas. This is your Frederick Real Estate Update. A conversation about the regional real estate market with tips for buyers and sellers. Your host, RE/MAX Results, DarrenAhearn.
Hey, folks, welcome back to your Frederick Real Estate Update. I am DarrenAhearn with RE/MAX Results, bringing you over 22 years experience in the Maryland and PA region. And I also have with me the one, the only, the legend, the myth, the man with all the money in the Presidential Bank Mortgage Vault, Mr.
Terry Kernan.
Happy weekend.
Happy weekend. How are you?
All right, we're in October. Here we go.
Unbelievable.
It's already cranking up. We're getting going fast. The leaves are changing quick. It's peak time all the way over in Western Maryland. So it's a nice drive. I love going out there. Every fall, I go up to Raystown Lake, take my boat, and I also like to go out to Western Maryland and try to get to Deep Creek and hang out. There's a really cool restaurant called Fire and Ice out there if you've ever been there on the lake. It's amazing.
Is it?
Yep.
No, in fact, but I was in Richmond last night.
Yeah. Wow. Go ahead.
Went down after a settlement. I jumped in the car. Our son Terry, works at Gonzaga and the AD, and so he was heading down to Richmond. Gonzaga was playing Benedictine, and beautiful campus down there. And it was a great game. Gonzaga won 23-16. But the great part was Joey lives down there, our other son, and so we had kind of a guys' night out, went out to dinner and had a great time.
Awesome.
Got a W, and then I jumped in the car early this morning.
Come on back.
So I could be right here.
Thank you. All right, for all the listeners, give it up for Terry. Big round of applause getting back here from Richmond to be on our program today. All right, phone lines are open because real estate, Terry, right now in mortgage world is crazy. 301-694-9363. Make sure you guys text in or call in. We'd love to hear from you. Questions, cares, thoughts, concerns, ideas that you have about the market, what you're seeing, experiencing. About the biggest thing right now, Terry, I'm going to do the numbers, but what I want to get everybody ready for is what in the heck is up with the job numbers, the predictions, and how in the world did it cause interest rates to just go up in 1 day's time over a quarter, or all that kind of basis crazy point stuff and all that? We want to hear from you. What do you think is really going on? How does this happen? Because some of this kind of stuff we're seeing is literally unprecedented in some degree. 301-694-9363. Make sure you call in. Thanks you guys for tuning in. Go back to our past programs. Terry, today is number 378. Wow. Go in WFMD.com and the drop down under your Frederick Real Estate Update and get over our past programs. Inventory active homes 447. Okay. This is the first time in forever, it feels like, that we actually saw inventory come down again. Last week it was at 449. We're down by 2 homes. What's going on with that? I have no idea. That's just another crazy thing. Coming soon, 69 homes on the market, 340 resale homes, 30-day average. And one of the things about that we're going to hit upon, because Terry and I were sitting together over at Dutch's Daughter this last week for Kenny McLean's big update on housing and real estate stuff and everything else. Median price $490, average $597. Single family home resales 204, 38 days in the market. Median price is $621 and $726 average. Resale townhouse and condos, 136 of those for sale with an 18-day on the market. $397 median, $403 average. New construction, 107. Should we be surprised?
Nope.
Single family homes, 58 of those at $797, average of $882. Townhouses, 49 of those for sale at $503 and an average of $541. Sale price, asking price and all that good stuff. Under contract, 276 is what we have under contract right now. Resale days 13. Median 476, 506 average, and single family homes under contract, 59 of those, and 112 townhouses. Sold past 30 days, 298, almost at that 300 marker, but we just can't get above it. 260 resales, 19 average days on the market at a 472 median and 523 average sale price. Single family homes, 148 sold in the last 30 days. 22 days market time, 620 average price. 112 townhouses at 395. Brand new builds, 38 of those have sold in the last 30 days, 12 single family homes. So like I said, we always have every other day a brand new single family home sells in Frederick County that's brand new. And the average price of that, $881. 781 average, median price. 26 townhouses at $497. And the sold to list price is at 99.5. Year to date, 2,270 homes have sold, 462 brand new builds, and 2,307 resales with an average median time on the market of 23 days. Katie McLean is right. We have not passed 30 days average time on the market all year long at all. Amazing to me. Amazing.
Yes, that is. And the one number that jumps out is sold the list price at 99.5.
Still can't believe it.
Reminder is what is the sales price that is settled on compared to the list price. Now let's also remind everybody that so it's at 99.5. So it's under 100, which we've seen it hover around 100, 101 for most of the year, but it also does not take into consideration if somebody listed something at 525, dropped it to 500, and then it sells at 490. They take it from 490 to 500. They don't take the original list price. I would love to know that number if there's any.
Yeah.
I
can get that.
Just because so many people are dropping their prices.
Yeah, they are. I was just going to say 39% still. We're hanging on to that number. About 39% of all people are have made a price reduction to try to get their homes sold and all that stuff like that. It's going to get worse. I'm finding, Terry, I just got a call this last week. I have somebody that I'm meeting on Monday. They've had their house on the market for almost 40 days, 45 days, and they've already reduced the price once, and they're getting like 1 or 2 showings a week. And I'm like, that's not good. That's not good. We got to look at this. So they want to make a change up and have me to come in and see what I can do with that. So I told them, I guarantee I'll give you a plan that's going to get it sold. I got to figure out what it is. Is it only price? Is it price and condition? Is the location affected? There's a lot of factors. So, all right, phone lines are open, 301-694-9363. Terry, this is the biggest thing of the day right here. Why in the heck did the job numbers, what were those, and why did it make such an impact on rates going up almost 0.25% in one day? What the heck's that all about?
So let's talk about this. And I'll bring back some history and some memories about the jobs, but the job market is very, very important to make sure that we're coming out of this period where inflation was just killing us. And we seem to have gotten that under control. We're at the very top of a rate drop cycle or a rate cut cycle, which doesn't always affect our interest rates, but it usually points in the same direction. Okay. So if they cut it a half, doesn't mean our rates get cut in half. It means that our rates have the potential to go down or to continue to go down. So when they cut it a half, the good news that came into the market was they cut it a half. They started cutting rates. So what happened? Our rates went up. Why did they go up? Because people were taking money out of the bond market, putting it into the stock market, because that was good news. So the jobs numbers comes out, right? What happens? 254,000 new jobs were created in the month of August for the economy. The prediction was 150,000. So an extra 100,000 jobs were created, which is a huge job number. So that is bad news for our rates. Why is it bad news? Because it's good news for the economy. And so people are going to feel very confident in continuing to pump money into the stock market and not take money out of the stock market and hide it in the safe haven of the bonds. Okay. So I hope I'm explaining this okay. But anytime that there's really good news for the economy, it's going to hurt our rates, whether it be temporarily or if it hurts it on a long-term basis. My feeling is this is just a blip on the radar screen. We are continuing or will continue the momentum. This coming week is going to be huge when it comes to the CPI and the PPI. That's going to let us know once again where we are in the inflation numbers. So those are big numbers coming up this week. But let's look at the jobs real quick. 254,000. I said 150,000. Unemployment went from 4.2% to 4.1%. The trend had been going that it was going up 0.1% a month. So that number came down 0.1%. Is that good news for the economy? Yes, it shows that we might have that soft landing and might not drop into a recession because of the job market. And I've talked about this. You got to get ahead of the job market. Cutting 0.5% was good. Now let's talk about a couple things that interest me. 4.6 million people are have part-time jobs for economic reasons, meaning that they need a part-time job. 4.1 million was that number a year ago. So we've seen a tremendous amount of jobs be increased, people that are working part-time because they have to. An average of $74,000, let's talk about where the jobs came. Food services, drinking places, 69,000 new jobs. And that's kind of in line over the last year. There's been 74,000 a month in line with that. That kind of startles me a little bit because I'm seeing a lot of, for lease signs in shopping centers and stuff. Healthcare, up 45,000. Government, up 31,000. On average, last 12 months, the government has been adding 45,000 jobs a month. Social assistance up 27,000. Social assistance is going to, a lot of fallout still with COVID and all of that. Construction, great number to see, up 25,000. But most of the other markets are not. Now let's talk about last March. They came out and they revised the job numbers for one full year. And they dropped them 881,000 jobs. So a lot of people, especially on the Republican side, are saying that this number of 254 is kind of a fake number. But we also want to remind people that in year 3 of Trump's administration, they readjusted down 500,000. So it happens no matter who's in there. It really comes down to the BLS, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. They just have to do a better job and be more conscientious, in my opinion, in making sure that these numbers are right, because so much is determined and so much is acted upon by the market, by the numbers that they provide. And when they constantly come out and provide a high number and then have to come back and readjust it downwards, that causes a problem. So that's pretty much the jobs in the nutshell. This coming week, as I said, CPI, PPI, big numbers. But I truly believe that we will continue this month to have rates go down.
So here's the big question I think people have, Terry, and buyers. If this revision comes out here whenever, and these other numbers coming up you spoke of, is it possible that we're going to see us go from I think this morning it was 6.53 on the Mortgage News Daily app, which is a great app, by the way, Mortgage News Daily. Is it possible that we're going to see it just plummet back down 0.25% overnight, literally, if they do a revision that is significant enough, or is that not how this would work?
They usually won't do this revision until a month from now when it's
geez. Okay.
So most revisions in the job numbers happen a month later when the new numbers come out. So they'll next month say. So it really doesn't. All of our reactions happen Friday morning, the first Friday of every month when those numbers come out, and that's how the market reacts. But most of the revisions are done a month later.
Terry, I want to know if there's any buyers out there that they were going to purchase, they were going to lock in purchase right now and everything, and now that the rates have jumped up quite a bit overnight, seemingly, the first big thing, Terry, I want to know from them is it caused them to find out, oh no, I can either afford this much less, or I can't buy now. This just knocked me out of the ballpark at all, because I know for some people that has to happen, or they just got cold feet. They just want to wait, see what happens. There's no I'm not anxious to like pull the trigger and buy something if rates just went up, significantly when we were hoping they would get down to 6, which we were close on conventional loans or even below that. And phone lines are open, 301-694-9363. We want to hear from you guys what your thoughts are. Terry, what do you think? Where do rates go from now? Is it going to stay flat? Is this the worst case scenario? Is the worst over as far as going up in this adjustment? And when could we see rates, maybe conventional, go below 6? Do you think that's going to happen this year or next year?
Well, after 38 years in this business, the one thing that you can pretty much say is don't ever say the worst is over.
Okay.
Don't ever say the worst is over. Don't ever say the best is over, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what we're taking a look at is we will continue to have lower rates. It is inevitable. It just is when they are coming. So the feeling is that we're going to be down probably not much more between now and New Year's. And then as the economy, settles down a little bit, what we're going to see is a steady drop, a gradual drop in interest rates. And the feeling is that we're going to be somewhere in the 5s at the end of 2025. So that's what I'm kind of, talking to people about. If you're waiting to refinance, let's evaluate. You don't necessarily have to pull the trigger now. We've got a lot of people that are pulling the trigger now for great reasons, but you don't have to pull the number. So where are rates going? I believe that they are going down. I believe that if any rates do pop up, then it's a temporary blip on the radar screen. And then the other question that you asked was, could we see the rates drop 0.25%, in the coming week with the numbers coming out? And the answer is absolutely yes. We very well could see rates readjust downwards if the numbers that we expect to come out are actually a little lower for the CPI and the PPI, and those are the measurements of inflation. So if we see those numbers at 0 or actually a negative, then we will see rates readjust downwards very, very quickly.
All right. Let's talk about loan limits on income and things like that for different loan types. This is something that I think a lot of people, buyers out there, I know, Terry, they don't know what that is. Like, what do you mean there's loan limit incomes and break points and how that affects everything as far as what type of loans and things? How does that work?
So loan limits, when we're talking about a loan, let's talk about a conventional loan. A conventional loan, which most loans out there are conventional loans. About 80% of all loans are.
Is that where we're at now? 80% are conventional loans people are doing?
Yeah, it might be about 77%,
wow.
But it's going to be 75 to 80%.
Okay.
Is going to be in the conventional range. And what we're seeing is on a conventional loan, any county in the United States, any county, okay? So basically anywhere in the United States, you can have a loan amount, not a sales price.
Right, not a sales price.
Two totally different things. A loan amount of $766,550 up to that number. Anything below that number is considered a conforming conventional loan amount. Okay. What does that mean? That means that it is backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which are quasi-government agencies that we've talked about, brother and sister, basically Fannie and Freddie, and their parent is Uncle Sam. So we're going to back, as a country, we're going to back the mortgage industry through Fannie and Freddie, and we're going to be able to go with a lower down payment. So you can do up to 3% down on a $766,000 loan. Pretty darn good, right?
Yeah, because everybody still thinks they hear conventional, Terry, and they're like, oh, I got to put down 20%.
Got to put down 20%. Absolutely not. So you can go all the way up to $766,550 with only putting 3% down. Wow, that's a great thing. Now, there are high-cost areas in the United States. We happen to be in one of those high-cost areas right here in Frederick.
Yep.
So we call that the Washington MSA. So the Washington District is basically going to have the counties of Montgomery County, Frederick County, Jefferson County, West Virginia, Prince George's County. Those counties are all high-cost areas. What does that mean? That means that Fannie and Freddie come out and they say, we will back loans in high-cost areas up to a certain amount. And in these high-cost areas, it's just under, and I'm not messing this number up, it is just under $1.15 million. You can, in this area, you can go up and you can get a loan that's backed by Fannie and Freddie. It's called a high balance conforming loan. And that high balance conforming loan, you can put 5% down on a sales price of $1.2 million. Like, think about that, 5% down, and it's going to be backed by Fannie and Freddie.
Wow.
Anything above those numbers,
Yeah, what happens if it's above that?
then it's a jumbo loan.
Okay.
And jumbo is totally different. The government stops out and quits backing it. So anybody that lends money, you still have the same people like Chase or Wells Fargo or PennyMac. They will still lend money above that 1.15 million, but it's going to be on their set of rules, their set of guides, and they're basically going to be a little tougher on qualifying. You're going to need more money down. You're going to need, anywhere from 10 to 20% down. You're going to need better income, better credit. You're going to need better ratios, because when the government is taken out of being a supporter of the loan, and it's really my money that, let's say I'm PennyMac, I'm investing in the jumbo market, I'm basically going to be on the hook if that does not work out. If you don't make your payments, I'm going to be on the hook. So anything above that is a jumbo loan.
Does that mean the interest rates is higher, or?
All depends. Generally, they're going to be a little higher because it's a higher risk loan.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so generally they're going to be a little bit higher.
How much, though? People are going to want to know, like, what's that?
Probably
about an average
0.25%
okay,
range.
Quarter, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. 1/4 to 3/8. A lot of people take a look at a jumbo. They'll take a look at an adjustable rate mortgage, an ARM.
Oh, yeah.
So there are a lot of ARMs in the jumbo market. There's not a lot of creative financing per se in the jumbo market because it's a higher risk loan. So they want to take the good credit, low ratio, high down payment loans. They want to put them in their portfolio, and they want to hang on to those loans as long as they can. So sometimes you'll find somebody that wants to get in the jumbo market, and their rates will be a little better.
All right. Good stuff. And then finally, Terry, grant money. I've had people asking me, where's all the grant money? What's going on out there right now?
So let's talk about the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta. We are a small bank, therefore we are a member of Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta. We are given approximately $1 million a year, up to $1 million a year to give out in grants, just presidential. They refunded their grant program on October 1st. They refunded the program, and they basically came back to presidential. We had exhausted all of our funds.
Wow.
And they gave us $500,000 extra dollars, which is fantastic. So if you are a first-time home buyer, listen up. You can get up to $15,000.
Wow.
And this is a true grant. This is forgiven after 5 years. It's forgiven in increments of 20% per year. And the $15,000 can go towards down payment. It doesn't have to go towards closing.
That's huge. That's huge.
So that just came back. And let's talk about if you're not a first-time home buyer, can you get this grant?
Right.
The answer is yes.
Wow.
So what do you have to be to get the grant?
Yeah, what are the strings attached then?
Strings attached, or we're asking you to be a community partner. What's a community partner? Somebody that works for the school system, somebody that works for education field. So we have done a grant. I did a grant one time for a maintenance worker at Montgomery College down in Rockville. Okay. Did he teach classes? No, he was not an instructor. He was maintenance, but he was working for an education. He was in the education field, a receptionist at a medical office. Is she taking blood? No, but she's part of the medical field. Anybody, nurse, anybody in the fields, they are eligible. So if you're a community partner, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer, and that's a huge, huge number, up to $15,000. So that grant is fantastic. But then they say, well, you gotta make barely any income, and that really isn't that isn't the deal here. Let's talk very quickly. Montgomery County, Frederick County, you can have anywhere up to $130,000 in income.
There you go.
For one person,
Just
for
one, yeah.
For two people, it's $148,000.
Yeah,
and get that $15,000. That's a huge number.
that is.
Washington County is going to be a little different. That number goes up to $103,000 for a one person, which is still a lot of money, and it's at $117,500 for two people. So even though Washington County is substantially less than Frederick County and Montgomery County, basically what you're taking a look at is it's still very high numbers in order to get the grant money. So it's an unbelievable program. Give me a call if you have anybody that's interested. Like I said, community partners are going to get $15,000. Nurses, teachers, anybody in that field, and anybody in the educational field, anybody in the firefighting, police officers, military, surviving spouse of a veteran.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's huge. Surviving spouse or a veteran, $15,000. So keep that in mind. It's real money, and you stay in the house 5 years, you don't have to pay it back.
There you go. We got about awesome. Thanks, Terry. We got about 3 minutes left here. All right, here we go, Terry. One of the big things that is coming up. Kenny McLean just spoke with us. We sat next to each other here at Dutch's Daughter, and you won a prize, I won a prize. Everybody's winning prizes that day.
Kenny picked our lucky numbers, and we were also sitting next to Kenny's mom, Patsy.
Yeah, she was there. Thanks for listening.
She's our biggest fan, I think.
She listens every week and all that, so thanks, Patsy. All right, so Kenny McLean, he was with us. If you want to contact him, this is going to be good stuff. You want to get a hold of him about anything with appraisals in Frederick County, 301-694-5626, or you can get him on his cell phone number, 240-285-1317. All right. Here's the big thing we were talking about, Terry, is how many homes are for sale. These are all factoids, fun stuff.
Yep.
How many homes are for sale in Frederick County that are $200,000? 5. 5 homes. That's it. 5 homes for sale. There's 31 homes active listings between 2 and 300,000. 50 is between 3 and 400, 99, 4 to 500. So, and everything else goes down from there to get to that. So we do not even have 100 homes for sale in any $100,000 bracket, which I don't even recall. It's been a long time to ever see that, but that's just astounding as far as that's concerned. Okay. Average time in the market days, 29 days. We never even got over 30 all year long. We might, but it hasn't happened. Highest inventory, we have